When you sneeze, does your taint hurt? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Did he get hacked? There's no way Ludwig would ask some weird shit like that, right? That's even out of his reach. If you guys haven't heard, Ludwig keeps trying to take me to this nude spot because he's trying to see my dick. But like, I won't give in easily. Are you still here? We should skip, no? Bro, how can he leave already? It's been 5 seconds. This guy, he does not do anything all day. I'm telling you guys, he actually doesn't do anything. He must still be here. I think he said he sends like an hour and a half a day of just watching other people's streams so he can find content to steal and do it himself. But there's not much here, bro. I'm not gonna lie, because you ain't gonna be able to watch the Valorant games. I'll be honest.
Bring him back to the. I thought for the time being, kayak. Oh, hold that thought for the time being, kayak. What? What? No! No way! Is this? Give it to him! Give it to him! Give it to him!
I can do that.
Win like a C post plan or whatever, right? So I just want it back into our control, and that was my message going to map 2. It still was a little shaky. I wanted more decisiveness from my players, but they're stepping up. It's good.
Are you ready for more rounds, more overtimes, more maps?
At this point, it's expected. I'm so exhausted, man. I'm so exhausted.
Well, all right, best of luck in next map. Thanks as always.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've been hate watching G2 for weeks now. This shit doesn't end, dude. How are they playing every single day, bro? Being a hater is not a good thing, I don't think. Maybe we should stop hate watching. Should we start love watching? I mean, I guess we do love watch the team they're playing.
to the music.
Ah! Fuck. Actually, Rain?
To the music.
W.
It turned out to be food for the soul.
What the fuck is this guy just saying? Bro just ducks from the camera, then pretends to be out of breath.
Food.
Nah, that some W acting though. Fat Daddy 109 said, the year I turned 30, I did 115,000 push-ups, average 300 a day. Yeah, we believe you, Fat Daddy. We believe you, bro. Pick it up, bro. You're him. You're him, bro. You're him, bro.
Food for the soul.
Shut your hating ass up. A pointless amount of push-ups. Oh, you're talking about me or him? Shit. I don't even know who he's talking shit to, and I started swinging at him. Damn. Ah, fuck. Nah, I'm weird. You're right. My bad.
When I first experienced the world of
Bro, it's
electronic
perma
music,
defensive. Would you guys say I'm a defensive
my
person?
perspective shifted.
Answer honestly.
Moments from the last match and close
He doesn't
matches
say
in
yes,
this
though. I know
series.
you- I know
What
how
was
you
the
guys
focus
operate, bro. I
for
know how you guys
MIBR coming
operate.
in to make sure you
I know
could
how you guys
really
operate,
bring
bro.
the match to
You guys are
G2?
rage baiters. You guys try to get me mad.
Getting strong starts. I mean, we didn't get a strong start on Lotus there. We were down 6-1. We were able to bring it back, but I think on Haven that really helped us out, like starting our halves really good. So that was a big focus of ours to really start out like guns a-blazing. And also we spent like 2-3 hours last night going over a lot of different stuff. Talking about our game plan, some of the mistakes that we were making. So, you know, it's helping us a lot, but we still got to tidy up some stuff and hopefully we take this series.
Anything you gave them imparting that wisdom at the beginning of the day, you let them know before they headed up against G2 in the lower finals here?
Just to put faith in the practice and the game plans and stuff like that. If they're not working or we have to make adaptations, I'll pause and I'll make some changes. But overall, just really put full faith in what we talked about in our setups, our new game plans, our new stuff, and just, you know, go at it.
All right, best of luck in the series. Thank you.
Shut the fuck up, decab.
Looking
No.
ahead over towards split as well. Valen, that player.
On this energetic wavelength, with an undenying love and connection to the music.
Oh, fuck is this comment?
It turned out to be food for the soul. For the soul.
All right, everyone post one thing they're grateful for in the chat right now.
For the soul.
Apart from me and you.
Food for the soul.
I like it. 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 My girlfriend, my mom, my family, my dog. Your girlfriend. Who's that your girlfriend? You talking to my girl? Nah. Chill, bro. There's a line to this shit. There's a limit to this shit, bro. You better fucking watch yourself, dude. Because I know I said I'm not defensive, but I'll get defensive real fucking quick, dude. You are not talking to my imaginary girlfriend, okay? That I guarantee. I'm a nurse and I'm thankful to be a part of their health journey. Holy fucking W. I'll start crying right now. Say I won't cry. Say I won't fucking cry.
Another of the more
Here we go.
classic types of comps here, and
Who the fuck said let's go G2?
It's MIBR
That guy's gonna get fucking laid out.
Of having Aspas on Jet where he thrives with still integrating the necessary meta components.
Yo, Aspas is so aggressive on these pistols. Wait, Leaf? Nate, what are you doing? Nate, you still there? You went up?
Has to linger, caught inside some of that util. Now the
Wait,
activity comes from
that's where Aspas plays. Wait, Aspas is playing like Jogamo, and Jogamo's playing like Aspas. Does anyone see what I'm saying? No joke.
Goes for the jump peek, so Verna could follow it up, get an easy kill. Jonah pressured by the drone, forced back as the spike is going down. Verna with the trade again.
Thank you for the 5 gifted,
I
Kev.
think there for the attackers.
I'm sorry for yelling at you.
They'll
Only because
eventually
you
be able to
gifted
get the
5
spike
though.
down properly, and Jonah will play off a flash and a recharged fault line to come in for a retake clutch.
All right, Shannon posted up in hell. Verna would love to draw the attention to him, and he does just
Let's
that.
go, MIBR.
No awareness of Shannon's close-up position in hell. All too easy for him to pick up that kill and get MIBR another pistol round.
Derek, can you please remind Rob to check his DMs about my international giveaway? If you remind me when he's in the call for the Cubert match, I got you. But otherwise, try to DM him again, or just remind me during the Cubert match.
The numbers really favoring MIBR towards the end. Shannon flying in wait.
I'm sure he checks his DMs.
Perfect beginning on this
I think
attack
his DMs
side
are open. It's
already.
crazy.
Panthers for Aspas and Verno, they are going for it. G2, don't fancy a stinger buy here.
What does getting you first in America's get you for Toronto? First place seed skips the Swiss stage, which means you go straight to playoffs, right, chat?
You may just get his wish. Valen has pressed up into that corner. Surely MIBR re-clear that.
Leaf is spotting through. So now
is playoffs double a limb? I would guess it is. It always is. Playoffs are double a limb, so first seed from each region skips Swiss stage, and you get extra champ points. And that's about it.
Had to. All right, pivot into B main now from this MIBR team. Should
Derek, shush, I'm trying to watch. I'm fucking trying to watch too. People keep asking dumbass questions in the chat. I'm just kidding.
But the thinkable would be that he goes 1 for 1. That's his hope.
Extremely thinkable that. Okay, there it is, 1 for 1. You called it. Dr. Valorant has spoken. And that's it really for G2 on this site. Come back in now as Sheriff Shorty and a classic.
Skipping Swiss stage is gonna make you rusty? Nah, it's worth it, bro. We can work through the rust for skipping Swiss stage.
One stray weapon, as those are the two guys with the pistol. MIBR want to be able to buy as many rifles as possible for that round 3.
Radage? 3v3?
Not out of the woods just yet.
Yeah, can definitely go for this as G2. You've got a bit of time. Fault line there, they're definitely committing. G2 now will try and unravel the hold MIBR have on this B side. There's a fight happening in B main. Jorg, though, just doesn't get any step to it whatsoever. Classy stuff from Trent, but now the odds really feel like they're working against him. Tezzy low. Don't do it to him. Okay, buddy.
What the fuck? Just item down.
Sometimes it's good just to, sit and think and not react straight away.
Oh, Cortesia was just a moment away from being able to carry that rifle over, but he can't.
They lost the Phantom for that,
G2 will be more than happy.
Kind of get away with murder there.
Nice.
Absolutely. They'll be happy with all that economic damage that they were able to.
Oh, that was close.
The deal.
We did get that from Jorgamo yesterday. Ridiculous knife kill.
Hands up!
Caught. Oh my god. That's too funny. All right. MIBR, what are they cobbling together here? They've got a couple rifles on account of the players who bought nothing. They literally have just recreated last round's buy into this one. Oh my god, Jaw. That spam was perfectly placed.
Yep. Not hard to see those Sheriff players, so not something you're probably writing home about if you're in MIBR. I think still proceeding apace. You just haven't had any good progress through the middle part of the map. Smoked up by both sides. Aspas might still look to operate around that dark cover as he peeks into the corner. Jaw, of course, has to respect this Teo util. He'll have some to play off himself. Still a clear mid as far as he's concerned. All right, fair enough.
He is happy to just keep taking these fights, play around the smokes that are being cycled top mid.
That rifle gets cycled over to Artazine now as well. But if you notice, it might be haven't made any big lunges across the map. They're still trying to work on mid. Trying to construct this G2 hole, but Jaw is everywhere. And he's credited with both kills in the round.
G2 have allowed MIBR
Off
to get
angle.
space in B Heaven, Leaf playing
Ooh,
on that
nice
caught
timing.
off
30
angle.
seconds
It's
left.
just such a strong one, however. And,
Dropped. You didn't hear him.
Shot down.
Nate?
Now without being traded by Cortesia.
Oh, yeah, TP just a little too far forward. It was on the corner. That little mechanical misstep is easily punished by Valen. And there's G2 walking out with 4 rifles from their first buy.
Now we'll get to MIBR's full buy, rifles for all 5, not just 3. Jaw was
Tough.
ruthless with his willingness
Tough.
to fight in mid there, just spraying through
Tough.
the smoke constantly. Holds that little gapped angle on the left. You can kind of leave open with a dark cover if you want.
Yeah, he sort of
have someone post up.
reposted back into that room after the salvos came through, and Aspas did
Why does chat only get mad at G2's playstyle and not at MIBR's? Because we hate G2 and we love MIBR.
You can see that.
I don't make the rules, I just follow them.
Line here into heaven for Aspas to play off of. Doesn't connect onto anyone, but they've gotten this space.
Okay, Aspas should be able to get to Rafter here. Should he choose? No, it's going to be backside instead. Followed up by some of those more common defender sides cleared out by the salvos.
We're into a full 5-on-5 retake situation now. No ultimates on the board just yet. Cortesia has opted to play
One last
very
question,
far
you don't want the
forward in this
Institute
dark cover.
Texas.
He's about to
I'm
be
kidding, I
revealed,
don't
and
know.
Aspas wants
I
to
don't
help
know.
from the other side, but he's flashed up, exposed.
Knives out, but this is getting a little awkward even for Aspas' liking. Yeah, he's got to concede the position. Verno knows now they're getting chased.
Oh, timing.
G2 starting to get aggressive here on ramp, and it's getting ugly for the attackers. Verno gets his.
Help!
Well, he's got an off angle.
Help me!
So now Zeke Cow is
I saw
alone. Takes one, but that's all she wrote.
I'm cultivating
There
a
goes
toxic chat with all this
Running
hate
of
watching.
MIBR, things get a little more uncomfortable
Chat thoughts?
The Brazilian side, they were just unable to fight for any space of significance. It was really only Cortesia up
Don't
in
retweet
heaven
that,
there.
bro.
And then
What the
you could
fuck?
see, yeah, Aspas is trying to fight up ramp at the same time, but it just doesn't work out. G2 overwhelmed them with numbers. The flash onto Cortesia was
The
perfect.
thing is, like,
Frog
I'm toxic by
feeling some
nature, but
really
like, it's
frustrations
not like
here.
real
It feels a little
toxicity.
uninspired for MIBR. Like,
It's like
as
fun
soon as rifles have been a
toxicity.
factor, they milled
You
around
know?
mid a bunch that previous round. Aspas
Like,
down
poke-
early. They mill around A main, and G2 just take a pretty
Poke
aggressive
and laugh,
timing
poke and
to
poke and
overload
laugh.
ramp with
What's the
2
word I'm looking
players.
for? You know, a
So the
little poke
message
there, a little
might
poke
be
here.
MIBR needs to be
But-
more proactive, at least play at a higher pace.
Doesn't come
Aspas
off the same
tried,
over
but
text, maybe.
There's nothing to find.
All gathered up outside of A again.
Look at what I named this
MIBR.
emote.
Frankly, we saw
Wait, what the
lots
fuck? It's
straight
called
up
G2
by
Hate
man.
Watch, and it's the MIBR flag.
Against Sen from them yesterday.
Poke and probe, is that the term?
Does Jonah get spotted on that shoulder pick? It's likely.
Sit down, why am I standing? I'm not
Gate
gonna lie.
crash set up by
I feel like I
Jaw.
have to
Pretty
stand
heavy
because-
mid-focus for G2.
I might fall over to the side if I sit
Just
right
Jonah
now.
and A. Just one
I need to,
token
like, I need
defender
to
in
stay
heaven,
moving.
which means the push through A main is technically open.
G2 were so convinced of something happening in mid, to the extent that Jonah was also ready for a fault line there. But now off that jump spot, sees Arts in. That is going to give the game away. The breach is over on A ramp. G2 are pushing behind them already.
Jonah has board about 7 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the position of the G2 players in sewer. They're getting close. And there's a teleport into sight. Okay, Valen denied.
Valen will still get there on a
Bang!
decent timing though. MIBR, I think
Ooh.
they're trying to set up at Raptors, but here comes Jaw. Shen on the loose end, now
You're
down.
all
All of
big.
MIBR trying to group up here in heaven and the site respectively.
Oh,
and Lee,
wow.
he's off the boil. Aspas gets
Wait,
the
this
better of
Armageddon is so good. It's forcing all of G2 out, but Jaw's collecting the kills backside.
Jaw. I mean, G2 will fight in the sun or inside. Doesn't seem to bother them. Aspas and Cortesia here now have to go for it. Aspas just away with
Oh!
it, would take the man down. Now it's up to Trent. All of a sudden, this has fallen apart.
Oh,
Aspas knows
imagine.
approximately Trent is heaven side. 7 bullets left. 7 kills for Aspas in the game. What opponent to take
Oh!
Extra.
Wait, how does he
step
do
taken
that?
To the right.
He saw Trent and
Converts to the
ran,
Red
then
Bull
shot
clutch.
him. How did that
A
work?
pretty important one at that.
You guys
Now
see what he just
MIBR
did?
can start to build that bank a little bit more.
How?
Look how this played out.
Aspas is on fire today. Getting that first kill, and then from heaven, eventually just needed one bullet to connect on Jaw while he was sticking it.
What was it, like a crouch into step? Sick movement. Knocking up.
Oh, no, 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 no.
G2 still have enough cash to buy, though everything is going to be on the line for them here.
And now that sort of mid-play they were conditioned to expect that last round is actually happening here. Aspas gets that high ground. Boing. Boing.
Boing, 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 boing.
I like this though, getting active on the A side, G2. Shenum gives it up. No insert left here for G2, but they're happy enough.
Because all of that pressure came there, MIBR, they are ready to take space elsewhere on the map. And they've worked up mid, they've worked into Maya. Leaf has been a nuisance on this exact off angle on a prior round. He's hoping to get that one, fall down, reposition.
Standard aftershock there. Trent already off that line. Armageddon coming through. MIBR got to be quick about it. And Lee just picks him off. Says,
damn.
Have you learned to eat your greens?
Live munition.
Trent forced back by the sun temporarily, but only 40 seconds on the clock. The rest of G2 all running over to this B side, just denying anyone even being able to pick the spike up.
The crossbow fault
just
line is
beautiful.
Set up by Jonah.
Just beautiful team play.
Verno, again, well, we've seen this one many times before.
W Archer.
Trent had such an excellent usage of the Armageddon into the salvos there, having forced the MIBR players forward, and Leaf had already repositioned into hell. He just had
my room right now,
the perfect setup
10 seconds left
to get those kills as they were forced out into the open.
I mean, both Armageddons were nasty. Previous round was Verno forcing the two G2 players out of screens. This time it forces MIBR to get running.
And you know, there might have been a timing window there for MIBR to just accelerate through Mail, get into B, but there were maybe 5-6 seconds of wait time after Shenum had absorbed that aggression on A that allowed for Trent to get close.
I'm in a dorm room. I know I need to get a new bed stand and shit, but
by the time they actually went
add
in,
stuff into
they were
this room,
forced in, and then G2
you
were
know, I'm moving at my own
in some good
pace,
positions
and that's
to
what
deny them.
matters, man.
Reasonable time to take a timeout here. MIBR probably with enough money to force Guardians.
Bro, what am I supposed to have in here? What the fuck? You gonna have a race car in here?
A lot of the time. The Rolling Thunder here from Unseen is on deck. He and Shenum not quite able to get into the game as they would have liked ever since the round 1 and 2 after another classic standard MIBR pistol win. It's been a little quiet on the attackers front.
This is going to be MIBR now.
It's not a twin, it's bigger than a twin. But I don't actually fit on that bed. I'm too tall for my bed, but it's too much work to return it, so I just make it rock. Or make it work.
Was back on Lotus. Actually, at the beginning of their attack half, when he called his first time out for them, that they were able to win a string of rounds after that. See if he can have a similar effect here early days on Split. Though MIBR not nearly in as dire as a situation as it was early on Lotus.
And it might be
time
to
don't
start
be weird, bro.
Mid-round and come to the fore.
You know who you are, bro.
A hell of a matchup. He's played what?
I know it's hard to contain.
1v05 is.
But you have to contain it, bro, because it's going to be better
Valorant,
for you.
of course, more recently was a global final in a 5-mapper, calling that one against T1.
Yeah, that compression tank, you're definitely not built like that.
Many of G2's games go the distance. That's been a theme for them last year as well.
It was
focus up. It's 3-3.
Dominance it felt like to start off with, and now they have been getting tested by every single team, every series. And aside from that loss to Sen in the upper bracket, they have met those challenges, beaten them. That's why they're making it to Toronto. That's why they're still in this tournament.
Let's see
no one has
how
made it
they
easy on them,
counterplay the Viper ults on mid.
This time,
now, MIBR see the Viper ults on mid.
It's going to be a little
How do they
with the Viper's
react?
pit set up.
Uh-oh.
Jog is on the walk. He's got back up too.
Looks like they're going A.
The operator
Before.
out of this timeout.
Cortezia, though, much more well-behaved than he was on that.
Damn, what?
Still, it's not enough. Wow. The discipline was there, but Valen steps up and forces him to fight.
We saw Sentinels yesterday exploit Cortezia being on his lonesome in B main frequently. He needs to not succumb to that same fate against G2.
He's the one to try and get active a lot in these early rounds. Might need some more variation, though. That's just hammered with so much util. This is definitely shades of yesterday's game for MIBR. Losing that loose player on B, their fast has been stuffed by util. It's like a nightmare that repeats itself.
I love this from G2 out of the timeout. Cool. We're going to buy the off. We're going to push up into B main, take control, do something different.
I don't know.
And whatever plans MIBR had heading into that, we don't even get to find out what they looked like to any percentage of an extent. I mean, they were just immediately dismantled.
That first push. Cortezia, they're just losing out to Piggy's advantage.
I think it was. Maybe?
Boss looks like he was stunned up there by Trent. Valen just gets the spam. It's just, it was as good as done when Osboss is isolated in the site and picked off.
That's what I do.
Sometimes you just got to give a bit of a So we have to wait,
Hey,
I guess,
Rush.
a couple of rounds until we
Ramp
see what
control.
Rod was really calling for. If they try and run it again.
Wow.
Aspas goes for a fight. Those stingers are plenty now for MIBR. Really, like a kicked anthill on this A side of the map.
Jonah's caught close right now. Yes, he has this wall to tuck into, but it's going to go down. They're surely going to clear this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Nowhere. Verno just pole vaulted on Jonah.
Wait, how's Aspas there?
And here's Aspas getting deep, getting amongst it.
He's gotten into the back lines, and Ardzin cleans up the last leaf on the flank shut down.
Very cool. Thrifty there for MIBR. Say that without a hint of sarcasm, it was 4 stingers brought in to start the round.
End up picking the right side there.
Yeah, they picked the right side, and finally someone from G2.
What a clear from Verno
MIBR's liking has
as well.
actually moved up on ramp early. They were in the range of that fault line to get caught. Aspas finds the initial kill and then just sprints into the back line.
Nice.
It's like you come home at 3 a.m. and Aspas just turns the light on as he's sitting in the armchair. I've been waiting for you. Set up in their spawn.
Oh my god, instant fight now from G2 in
Damn.
main. All of the players stacked up with that util.
Again, it's been so nice. The combo of Trent's util is there. However, perhaps the defenders have overstayed their welcome. Verno's able to cut them down to size and even up the odds. Jorg can't post up on that rafters angle. Artazine slaps him down instantly.
He just didn't expect them to be in the site that rapidly. Valen weak, Verno hungry for more, knows he got the take and wishes he bought a Vandal. It's down into the 2 versus 2.
Spike, though, is down. MIBR trying to play off this together. 2 flashes as well. In hand for Artazine. And Leaf has finally arrived on the scene. The cavalry's here. He's very healthy. But he's got to put it together with Valorant, who's still snaking his way into screens. But not so healthy anymore, is Leaf. Wants to try and take this fight without backup, by the way. Valorant is not there until now.
So much damage done to Leaf. Both G2 players weak.
Time is ticking.
Wow.
Valorant slammed.
Wait,
And now G2
time?
have only Leaf to account for.
Oh, and he just barely gets into the range of the stun.
No time at all. Leaf at 11. Artazine artfully dodging the corner.
Just staring at him.
Just trolling the guy.
Oh no.
Shorty puts it to bed, and that's 2 in a row for MIBR.
Oh no, no.
These hits on A are starting to look real nice, but I love the response early from G2. You said it, they overstayed their welcome. They find 2, and they've committed here close. And as soon as that wall drops, wide swing from Verno. The players that got G2 the advantage fall themselves.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Just little things over and over cascading to their defeat in that round, because then you had Jaw trying to post up on main, but didn't realize it was too late, that Ardzin already beat him to the punch, was in the sight, was on the angle. He goes down. Then we're suddenly into a 3v2. And it just keeps crumbling from there. MIBR have taken the lead now on attack split.
Something we heard from Josh RT in between maps is that he would have liked to have seen his boys be a bit more, proactive. A little bit more adamant about getting forward, or a little bit more confident. And that's something that Leaf was trying to call for during the games yesterday, as Ender had the cans on, was listening to their comps. They definitely feel like their mortality has been kind of exposed to them over the last few weeks. Just how
Okay, what are you guys typing, bro?
Now maybe that same level of confidence isn't there. Or maybe it's too much in that kind of round. They've got to find a balance.
This was the map as well. Yesterday, that Leaf dropped 28 and 12 on playing the Viper. An obscene stat line.
He started so well in this series, but the second half of Lotus, he started to fade back in the periphery, Wyatt.
So far, solid here. Nothing, unbelievable, nothing bad. He's playing just a solid game at the moment.
Full buys?
When someone is playing at a level that astronomically high, you have to keep your eye on them and just tally where their performance is going.
Yeah, is that more obvious if he goes off the boil, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Uh-oh.
This is a full buy for G2 Aspas. Fast.
Damn. Wait, what?
Oh my god, the straight
Dude.
bullet. Leaf
How?
killed by the missile as well.
Literally.
It wasn't even on him,
shooting
was
the
it?
And Leaf ended up getting picked up there, lingering. I think the rafters side got taken down by a salvo.
They might have to save here, right?
All over the B side.
No, they're going for
This
it.
round is just as good as done unless G2 are able to catch someone from MIBR unaware.
Mill.
Will Trent check this as well?
There you
Or is he
go.
confident enough that Jorg
One more.
crossing? Yep. We've given him all he needs to know. In comes Verno. Knife in the
Save,
back and
save,
2
right?
Brutus.
Damn.
It's on Jonah. And already it was looking like it'd be unlikely they'd try with 3 guns. Even less so with 1. I think Jonah's seen enough.
They went forward just hoping that someone on MIBR would overextend, that they could maybe find a kill, find a way back into the round, but the odds were always going to be stacked against them.
Verno baited ass
Looked like he was
pass.
going through the motions, but Jonas crispy with it.
Uh-oh. No one baits ass
Oh,
pass.
okay.
Put that away.
That
Nah.
timing is so crazy, and he's shot down by Cortezia.
Pretty important kill. MIB are obviously happy to chase into that. Look at the money on G2. This is now starting to snowball out of control for them.
Wow.
On Valen is
Dude.
So, it's so ridiculous. And then there were follow-up missiles that came through from Verno. Find the kill onto Leaf.
And that's what it's like to coach Aspas, I guess. Some of those random moments just tend to fall in your favor.
Yeah, they don't feel so random.
Yeah, not with the amount
After
we've
you've seen them hundreds of times over the years, do they? But they should be random. Okay, that's not how the game should be played.
Half buy for G2.
G2 have got a half buy into this, just making sure they have enough to afford. Maxed out on the last round of this half.
Oh.
Aspas spotted egg, gets ahead of it. Joel Kidd is gate crashing out, doesn't quite feel confident.
Dash.
Handling what he feels is probably a large number of MIBR players. This is going to force Jonah out into the open, but he's ready for it.
What
Apparently,
the?
Cosmetic stun, anybody? Artisan on the line, it's going to be traded with an overload
I
of
respect
players.
him committing to the
Not
sheriff.
even the ghost has
Yo!
Away from the bully.
I mean, everybody is just blinded up by
Oh.
the paranoia.
Okay, let's just
Wait.
settle down. Leaf here gives his position up, and Verno is able to convert. Not too shabby for MIBR, despite G2.
Oh my god. That was like
That was
so
frightening
scrappy.
for a moment.
Yeah.
I think
There's
that
so many
paranoia
chances.
connected onto 4 players, one of which being
They need a Jeff ult in
Valentino's
Valorant?
shot.
Oh my god.
some collaterals acceptable. So Shannon, of course, who was able to just, cool things down a bit. Things got a bit hectic.
Is Marvel Rival still going crazy?
There from your boy Verno. Here's the last round of the half. Ultimates of
The
note,
head died down a little bit,
for
yeah?
G2.
Full arsenal for G2 to try and get a 5th round on
Not
the
as
board.
much.
Doesn't feel like it needs to be said, but Split, you need more
Not
than
as
4
crazy, but
on
it's still
defense if you're
solid.
going to attack, and it is miserable to start.
Why did they
down
lose so much
at a
of their
deficit
player
like
base?
that.
Someone said they lost 80%. Why?
As has been the case in many of these rounds. Aspa, there it is. Leaf returning.
Why do
to
people
that
start
heaven
play-
position
stop
after giving
playing?
it up because of the util. Aspa's not ready for it this time. Where is this TP headed? Maybe just for info into screens, cancelled. Cortezia sees enough, and this has got 2 players from G2 drifting over.
Yeah, that's making it seem like there's going to be a hit towards A, but it's all of MIBR gathered up running through B main. Not an area of the
Not
map that
80.
they've been heavy-handed with. Prior to this final round, Valen repositioning in mail. Looks like he's going to be able to catch Shannon. The spray is wild, but it pays off.
Still 3 up now for MIBR. Have to find a big turnaround here. As that Armageddon comes in, Jorgamo dances amongst the napalm. Verno got picked up by it in the end though. And here's Trent doubling down. It's on Artisan. And he can't see a darn thing. 4 players involved in that kill. Jorgamo with the credit.
4 ultimates used, and the round is also won for G2. They'll be happy to leave the half with that final one, but they won't be thrilled about it just getting them to 5.
Marvel announced
Hate
a
to start
$3
your
million
split attack
tournament.
side
Damn.
down. MIBR on their map pick. Looking much better than they did yesterday earlier on against Sentinels.
Such a brazen post up there by Leaf as he heads back up the zip line to take the fight.
I'm just jumping up and down while he's full stunned.
That is correct. Yeah, Aspas definitely gets affected by like a fault line as he gets on in there. Well capitalized on it, I've got to say, and in keeping with the previous 2 maps, it's been a competitive first half. But like Wyatt said, GT would have liked a little more than 5. A pistol, though, in the second half would fix that right and good. So stick around, let's see if that's the case for the second half of Split.
Shit. Honestly, it's been a very sweaty series.
But when
It's been a sweaty series, bro. Not gonna lie, I don't know how I'm eating again, but we are. Actually, it's been 3 hours. What split do you follow, and what do you think about upper lower split? To be honest, dude, you should just do. I mean, everything works differently for everyone. I found PPL being the best for me.
MIBR, G2, and Sentinels, of course.
You should just do whatever's the most sustainable. I can't really say too much. I'm not gonna lie. I just know what works for me.
Scan to secure your spot at the second global event of the year. It's on the North American continent. The best, surely, being set here from Americas. And honestly, it's interesting because a lot of those top teams from other regions, EDG, for example, not gonna be there. It's gonna be a wild time.
We do have the lone Canadian, Jonah P, on stage right now. Feels at home on the rink with the Zamboni smoothing out the ice. The one single Canadian player that will be at Masters Toronto.
What is that, a Zamboni?
Yeah, hopefully he gets a bit of a hero's reception as G2 have had to fight pretty hard. Does that look a bit labored at some points? Get there, bro. Okay. Maybe there's some
Oh, it's for hockey. I see.
That QR code, folks, next to those tickets are on sale now, or AXS.com for those. Hopefully we see you there. It's gonna be a great time. I mean, great games.
There's still more tickets left.
That is a stacked tournament. Stacked. I mean, look at the game we're watching right now. We could get this as a nice little repeat there at some point.
Jeez, that would be wild. And again,
wait, what happened?
We'll get MIBR against the best teams in the world from all the other regions, though. We haven't been able to see that happen yet. I'm so excited to see all of those potential matchups come to fruition.
Yeah, getting Aspas back in an international feels like a breath of fresh air. Okay, so G2 on the attack side.
Time to jump.
No early smoke here, A main, but the Viper walls, of course, will come up. Gate crash cleared as it's faked by Jaw.
Bear in mind, right now, MIBR, they are up 4-1 when it comes to pistol rounds in this series.
What type of sushi?
Dominating at that aspect of the game, getting those early advantages.
Like, you mean where I got it from, or
like he wants to get
there's a bunch of stuff in here. It's a
and
box.
Maybe just stay. He is the insert player on ramp side, but this has kind of been read by.
I was trying to see if I should say the name, but it was Sugarfish.
So
Sugarfish?
Pistols, but Jonah P doubles back, catches
Sugarfish
the player,
box?
was
It's good as fuck.
to be the
If
thorn
you
in the
haven't had
side of
it.
G2.
There are still 50 seconds to play with for this G2 team. They are his eye on mid right now. G2 could quite literally be anywhere. They've decided to pivot back to Leaf, who's been uncontested in this
Not gatekeeping Sugarfish.
There's going to be so much pressure on Artzin.
How's the trigger discipline looking? He's about to get a lot of options. Jorgamo's able to switch around, very quickly dispatch him. And Leaf's got a good spot to play off of now. Pick the boxes left, go down to 30 and back away. He's done his job. This will confer heaven over to MIBR to make use of it. I think Verno wants to try and clear ramp. Lest there comes a late re-hit from Leaf.
Oh, does he clear this?
There's no way.
Boss. Oh,
There's no way he's clearing this.
It looks like he wants to, man. It looks like he
Wow.
with the right click,
You're
close range.
kidding.
God, he just knows.
That should end the round.
You're kidding.
Nothing to work with
What was
now.
Verno looking at?
Cortesi is basically sat and spawned still with no real options and no definitive way into the round. G2, crucial. Absolutely crucial pistol round after a little bit of an anemic first half.
Wow.
Making a one-round game with a flawless on the pistol.
Beautifully done. Very simple. I like that in the mid-round they just have a lot of options to play with. It leaves MIBR seeking information. Shannon pushing down mid, caught, and then from
That
there.
timing.
Okay, well, no one's actually bothered to re-clear ramp. We have Leaf sitting there. Let's just go all the way back. Get a free A-site execute going.
Again, look for more of that mid-rounding from Valen. Something that really has put G2 on the
I
map.
see W key.
Literally.
The entirety of them are gathered up. B-main early outside of Leaf, who's just playing to contain and get information on that A side. Specifically, if the MIBR defense just hurls all their util fast A and start running at Leaf, then he could just tell the rest of the team, okay, they're legitimately every single player is here, just go into B. Yep. That isn't the case, but that's one of the ideas with that kind of setup.
He trends back over towards mid. There was a gate crash set on the A side of the map for Jaw in case there was a good reason to trend in that direction. Pretty fundamental now. Take that mid control. Verno's pushed up the inside that smoke with Artazine, excuse me, with a shorty. Drone comes past. Yeah, just too much.
Holy
to look
shit, he
at.
got jumped.
And you have Leaf just taking point as the entry Viper because he's got a ghost. So just down to go hunt for kills.
That is Spike?
Yeah, I mean, he's deployed all of his util over on the A side of the map anyway, so...
If anyone should go hunting, though, for real, it is Jaw. He's got the Stinger. He's the player on G2 that's closest to their ultimate. And I don't think I need to inform the viewing audience as to the importance of the Dimensional Drift and how much that ult has shaped the meta in 2025. So,
and look, on this map, it's wild. Being able to get into a site, and sometimes
Clippers
like,
or Nuggets?
we even see like Omen Ultimate expended
Nuggets
to
in
that effect
7.
to join them.
Wait, it's 3-3, right?
A couple times from Sen. Here, just to play off the util.
yep, and here it is, Jaw. Go run at them. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to work out too well, but hey, he gets one orb. You know?
I got Nuggets.
Sure, that is one way to get an orb.
I got Nuggets.
So, G2, as expected, convert this round fairly comfortably. And MIBR will make sure they get cleared off the map. Buy up now and get serious as we head into the attack side bonus.
Looking to see what G2 are going to opt to invest here. Pretty fair buy. They've got a couple legitimate rifles going against an MIBR team that is, of course...
The Nuggets fired their coach and GM 10 days before playoffs started. What the fuck?
Looks like they may want to put some emphasis on A main.
I feel like I heard that.
You can see
but yeah, that's crazy.
that fault line lineup being set up right now from Artzin. Ospas
All right,
intending on fighting
bonus.
forward. Furno stealth drone for the
Bonus for G2.
Valen gets across, but does get pinged out by the stealth drone. Just the timing of the activation, managed to clip him. And that setup looked similar to the pistol round, right? Fault line ramp. Maybe you get a player up there inserted. They've been kept pretty far back onto their side of the map still. Now mid is the next question they'd like to levy.
That drone
Shut
is
is in
so
serious
annoying.
trouble. Yeah, needs to get out of the way after being scanned. But because they have routed him from male, G2 are happy to just contact slow walk and take the space on the map, set up for a B split.
The pace difference is so massive between these two in terms of how they hit B through heaven. Aspas would have been there 10 seconds ago already, diving in on that jet. G2
What?
patiently scaling in and then just trying...
Yeah, and then Trent decided the time for patience was done.
Oh, he's got a stinger, put it to work, why not you?
Dude, look at this take.
And it's gun round for MIB.
I can't believe Trent charged them.
Ferno's in no position to have any impact than Aspas. There's
Wow.
no way he could be asked.
This is a straight up save situation.
They got
not even
owned
a
so
let's
hard.
Walk forward and see if someone can find a kill, and then hey, maybe we try to. No, we're just saving. No other options. I do like how G2 played that round. They absorb all that aggression on A, and then they just pivot so quickly into that male take. The second they realize that Shenum ran away, that they hear his footsteps going back towards stairs, they just get into that space to the extent that Trent realizes, I'm going to close the entire distance just running with the Stinger right now. And in the meantime, they're coming out B main. The other two players divided in that split. It's so well done.
Yeah, they're playing off the stealth drone in the
Dude!
map.
Oh my god.
What
oh
is
my
that?
A little bit of food action there from your boy Jaw.
Wow.
Valen cut down, but Venom is low. No one else
Wow.
really there to go for him, and that's Aspas's gun
He
ripped away
gunned
from
him
him.
down.
What's up, Ivy?
Oh my god.
Okay, that is
That's such a good round for them. Dude.
Importantly, the rifles that MIBR were hoping to hold on to, they just could not carry out of the round. Beautiful play off the fault line. G2 do eventually explode into heaven. It's just the tempo is very different to what we saw from the Jet comp on the MIBR side, but it's just as effective.
All of G2 are gathered up for an A hit, it seems.
Here's your wall.
Let's have some fun.
That was
Go ahead
bonus
and get
too.
Jonah onto the line to stun a ramp. MIBR on the full eco round.
It's a reasonable
At this
take,
point,
Texas.
Damage doesn't even feel particularly relevant. Look at the G2 cash.
Little TP on out there, sheepish from Valen, but he lands.
Damn.
On the spot
That happens so often.
Targeted.
Where the guy TPs
with
onto the
salvo.
rockets.
Oh, that's an ugly one still.
Go
Pretty
roll.
lowly armed and arm in MIBR squad. Dimensional drift
Oh.
shot. Right, in theory, get you into the side scot-free, but Verno still finds lead.
He's the only one in the site fighting. Everyone else was caught off by that snakebite. They were just relegated to standing in main,
gotta
watching
push
their
spawn.
teammate
They
lose
gotta
a
push spawn.
1v1.
Okay, but hear me out. Jaw
listening.
has been able to get into screen to lease off that dimensional drift. There are a
He's
plethora
gonna jump.
of defenders set up.
No
that are trying
jump?
to fight for this. And oh, it's going horribly wrong.
1v5, Jonah
And I
P.
should've.
He's
It
due
is
for a
fallen
1v5.
to pieces.
Don't let the
Never mind.
don't let reality get in the way of a good narrative.
Flawless,
Just don't worry about
thrifty.
it. Forget about it.
Not only do they win the eco, they recover 5 rifles from
Yeah,
it.
that's a big win.
They call that a swing round.
Now, I would call that the biggest stimulus package we've ever seen.
Damn.
Flawless Thrifty, and all the rifles recovered.
What happened here at the beginning? I mean, yeah, Valorant is just forced to TP. He goes right into the salvo. Leaf is running in because Jaw is in there in the dimensional drift, which was used to lose an eco round. But then the rest of the team can't even swing in to help Leaf. They're all cut off by a molly.
Nice. Let's go.
In fairness, G2 take a fight where they're pretty unfavored against like a Stinger posted up on that corner. Maybe with better spacing, they come out with something there, but big risk to take, and it blows up in their face in the worst way possible.
Goes first map Haven. I might be R1 Haven
Their
1310.
economy was out of control. If it had been in a tighter situation, MIBR would be in crazy control of this game all of a sudden. But it just resulted in a situation where both teams have multiple full buys ahead of them. Valorant is just the first death again. We're minute 30 into the round. These guys have to execute with no smokes.
I mean, that's Jaw. He'll always take that fight. He just runs in you. Cortez here.
Ooh.
No chance to see a barrel shown there. Artazine deals with Jaw. And that B presence now essentially
He's out A, he's out A, he's out A.
Pretty tentative about stepping out onto the site.
That is a situation where you're in B site.
Does Verno know about timing?
Well, they could be facing me for spawn. They could be facing me
Does
for
Verno
heaven.
know about this timing? I don't think
Close
so.
any of these views off.
It's a big
We have
gap,
no
bro.
smokes. That was a window for them to try
Oh my
to
god,
take.
Verno got away.
The second opportunity.
Verno got
Leaf.
away.
He's worked his way into the MIBR backline.
Now they're going to be aware of it because Verno gave it up.
An opportunity to get
Since
a kill.
Verno walked away, they're more aware of the A lurk. It's actually
This is about
fucked.
as in the cookie jar as is humanly possible. MIBR just really respect that A side of the map. Their information
No,
over there
donk.
is
I like
no
your
longer
theory, bro.
current. Little split.
30 seconds left.
30 in the round. Eventually, they're going to happen on the right guess. But G2 don't quite know the status of the A side itself, if there's an anchoring presence or not.
Oh, what a jiggle.
About to find out. Here comes that Heaven.
Now
It's
Verno's
definitely
flanking. What the fuck?
on its way.
He pushed mid.
Verno also has a bit
He
of
has
a
ult.
rewrap of his own, but may not have the time to
Trent
wait
has
for
ult
Shen.
too.
That man is on the run.
He's gonna ult
He's at
screens,
this
right?
moment
The
and trying
classic
to
one?
double up with him. Paranoia
Yep.
comes to elbow.
He
Armageddon
got back
is gonna
though.
cause a lot of delay.
Wow, he
MIBR
got
trying to
through
get
it.
Back in G2, they are investing into winning this 3 versus 4.
Cortez here at full speed, gets out of the worst of the Armageddon, still alive to be a factor in this retake
Oh,
now.
he pushed him
Trent
out.
down, Leaf has the time
What?
to angle, but Artazine's able to trade
Is it
it
planted
out.
for him? It must be.
Jonah P, the professor, sticking
Wow.
Cerebro on his noggin, is able to see through the wall and know Artazine is waiting. Now it's a 1v2. Time is short, but his shots aren't getting it all.
Damn! He couldn't get
He
it.
flushed it entirely.
He couldn't find it.
And
Nice
all of a
try.
sudden, there might be
Wow.
back in the lead.
That's tough. That's tough.
Economy is looking
He couldn't
strong
find
for
it,
them.
bro. He
They
couldn't
got
find
ults
it.
out of G2 on the last 2 rounds. Things are starting to look oh so good for them on their map pick. Valen frustrated that back-to-back rounds, he was this early first death for his team.
Great shots on Jonah there. He is unfortunately not able to connect the one shot he needs. He kills the diffuser.
Damn.
That's it.
I mentioned this yesterday, but we've really seen Cortezio become such a driver of the excitement, the hype for this MIBR team.
Half by?
Now Ospas is picked
Yeah, it's a
off.
I don't know. It's
Bringing
4
something new
rifles.
into the fold on defense.
Coming to play as Cortezi was the top rated player at MIBR for a while, even above Aspas.
Cutting through.
This has been a bit rockier for him. The pressure's definitely been felt. And the start of the series wasn't the beginning he was looking for, but now
All right, they got ropes.
starting to pair along.
All right, G2 have
They're gonna push
given
Leaf?
some mid control.
No.
They're letting Leaf.
That wall comes
Continue to just contain over towards A. They're making all of this
Shaking
sound pressure
B.
towards B heaven. Well, the intention is to work into this A split.
cross map smoke there over towards Heaven side.
They threw a smoke, a paranoia, a clone up there to try and sell it. MIBR, both players, they're being forced
40
into the back
seconds.
site. They have to double up.
Smoke here might be
The
tricky
rotate's
though
here.
for the defenders to come
There's
back
4
and fight
here.
Heaven through. Shenem experiencing that right now.
Damn, that
He's too
util is
low.
nice.
Vulnerable from the snake bite and taken down by
Wow,
the
good
Salvos.
hold from
Cortez
Leaf,
just
good
slammed,
hold.
Insta dink. Leaf finishes him off through the screen.
3v5.
And Aspas is too far away to do anything about this right now. Having to retake with an op.
The only hope for MIBR here is if one of those G2 players offers themselves up to a fight, but it's just not going
Pretty
to happen.
impossible, man.
You rarely ever see that from G2. They're just too disciplined.
Damn.
Crisp. Far too crisp.
That's a
Verno's been
shot,
issued the
bro.
challenge.
That's a shot, bro.
We'll take it. Win it out.
Player
But
standing.
really, at this point, you're trying to salvage some currency out of the round. Aspas says, I'm keeping this shiny boomstick.
Aspas saving. I mean, they should have saved 3v5 probably, but
just a nice mid-round pivot from G2. The
they
plan
tried.
of getting up mid, taking all of that control.
Game time.
Send the clone, smoke towards B, paranoia into B heaven, make all of that noise. Leaf is controlling A main, work into the A split. It's a nice round top to bottom from G2.
Do you guys know James or not?
Yeah, really.
Is James still competing?
They kind of knew they'd forced those two defenders to anchor into the site. And they made it hard to retake heaven. Pretty standard smoke there. Just kept MIBR out of it.
He's in tier 2?
Right.
Bro,
Now
James
we're
was
starting to get into the
insane
back and
for a
forth
while
part of
there,
this
no?
half, apparently.
He was
18
insane.
rounds in, we are tied.
He would have like 30 kills every
Aspas
game,
kept
no
them
joke.
operated from the previous round.
This time it looks like he wants to post up towards the middle of the map. G2 opt for some early B main control.
You want a major? I know. Gambit, right?
Op in mid. Might see some movement now as Aspas, I think, is positioned ahead of that mailroom smoke and posts back up on it.
Outsiders.
Inside of it.
Oh, the
God,
outsiders?
he's going to get flattened by all this util, brother.
Slash VP?
It's out.
Oh.
Flash, though, saw the gate crash into ropes, and this is forces Aspas to back up now as well. He's in a really uncomfortable spot with his op. Time to jump.
Just trying to jiggle the corner. He just doesn't have an angle. Rolling Thunder coming into the site. Connects up
Got
to
out.
Cortez, who's
Got
forced to
out.
teleport away to safety.
He teleported into it just to get back into towards CT, but he's safe for now, at least. Jaw will be the doorman.
He's trying
the
to
bouncer.
get into this smoke.
Little 1-2 action. He's about to see Cortez here on his left. Aspas
Oh my God,
no
Jaw.
longer with him. He circled back around through mid to heaven.
Traded.
Patience
Big
almost
trade.
paid off. It ends up being a trade at best. And
The lurk.
are all grouped in heaven. Trend.
The lurk.
The timing. He has an opportunity now to
What?
The flicking no scope is there for Aspas. And now
1v1.
it's just him.
Enemy remaining.
Zom or
Human
no?
Tornado versus the Professor. Time not on Aspas' side, but there's a moment, an opportunity to open
This
this up.
movement is insane
He
right
just thinks
now.
that he's wrapping around, but Jonah has been patient at pillar the entire time.
Unmoving, stoic, and now he's heard it all. Jonah knows exactly how to play for time right here. Here's another time.
Oh my
Still falls,
God, how is
'cause
he
he's
so
going up
fast?
against a raid boss, but he's
How is
played
he
the
so
time to
fast?
perfection. It's a Pyrrhic victory.
Stat
around
pass?
for G2.
I mean, valid.
All about
But like
the
he tried,
smarts in
he
that
he
situation.
was moving
Clutch
scary,
up
bro.
For Jonah.
He was moving scary.
Get G2 back into the lead.
Wait, how is he so
On
fast,
the
chat?
third, just close banger map. What the hell is this? He's just gliding down. No scopes, Trent, close range.
It's casual. Very, very casual.
What do you mean
Nice
genetics
enough from
tech
Valorant.
W?
Very tight.
That was sick.
Jeez. Yeah, I know. That's what I
He said,
would've
"What the
said
fuck?
if I
Oh my
was getting
God."
paid to not say that.
What did he say?
Ah, just, you know.
He said WTF, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
MIBR taking the timeout.
One round in it. G2 able to string 2 attack side rounds
Low key,
consecutively.
the Jet always drops the
Dimensional Drift
smoke
one
on the
orb
spike
away.
and then fakes it.
IBR, it's a bit more of a
Because the
complicated
smoke can't cover you for
problem
half. New
because
tech,
That's kind of out of money.
Jet smoke spike,
Probably
half it.
distribute enough weapons. No huge
Thoughts?
ultimates on the horizon either.
It doesn't work in rank because they peek you no matter
G2 been
what.
mixing it up a lot.
That one round win from MIBR on the eco where they recover the rifles has given them the infinite money glitch.
Side
They
bow?
are
All right, my
still
bad.
able to buy. And these have not been, they've been round losses. There was a win that was not particularly clean, and they are still good to go on this defense, making it as tough as possible for G2 to try and
Good
close
way
out
to
this
die on
game.
spike.
Jaw is one away from the dimensional drift. So
How to not care about what people think, Tarek. Chat, you got good advice from my boy in the chat. He's going through it.
Better than having that on a full gun round. Gives you such a distinct edge. Information is currency here. On split, for sure.
Fault line was being set up there from Artzin, but it's Jonah who lets his rattle off so that control can be taken. Valen eats a lot of damage. I'm going to assume that was just some initial spam, maybe coming through the corner of the wall that clipped onto him from Cortezio, who's now backed off into default site.
Again, much slower here from G2 than you would expect from the jet comp that we saw out of MIBR. No explosion, no burst onto B. Enough to drag a third player onto the site proper. So little do they know, it definitely opens up this like a mid to heaven push now, makes that way more viable.
Right, now later in the round, the fault line is being used by Artzin, so MIBR can regain control of main.
They're gonna drone clear or
Valorant might
not?
take Spike and potentially TP over if A gets opened up. No, we're just going to go the old-fashioned way.
They have B main, but they're playing 3 towards B
Over
still.
on A ramp the entirety of this round. Now actually trying to push forward. There's that teleport that you mentioned. It's going back B. The dimensional drift is going to spot out Osboss, who now needs to get the hell out of dodge.
He's got the mobility to avoid any switch reprisal. Shoulder mode just drives by.
Cortezio's also ultimate is to TP backside on A side.
G2 are committed though. This is not a fake. They've got to end here at this rate.
Wow, he got 2.
Cortezio
He got 2.
Stunning little brace, but there's more to be done. Jorg playing on the side in elbow.
Oh,
Valen.
Valen.
And that's it really. It's just Artzin.
Yeah, Trent and Valen down to no HP, able to survive. The G2 IGL has hit some stunning shots in these last couple rounds.
Sneakily topping the scoreboard. And that's an easy one, a big 4K for Valen.
Damn.
And G2 finally opened up a bit of breathing room. The money for MIBR is looking a little dodgy.
They finally got, I mean, I say
Valeen.
they're still probably going to force into
Valeen.
this. Valen gets that initial kill. How on earth did Cortezio find 2? I do not know.
Wow.
That kill onto Shenum.
Lovely
High
off angle. 18 and 13 for Valen. Top in the server. Another game here where MIBR have Aspas. He's in it.
Aspas
He's
has
definitely
knives.
performing. But there's a
Honestly,
lot on his hands right now.
He's through.
Interestingly enough, in the playoffs, it's the least impact Osmos has had is when he's got the AWP.
What? The second kill is
Seems to find it every
insane.
time.
Speak of the devil.
Dude.
And he shall appear. D-Man control taken here with the Blade Storm.
Nah, man.
What a great start to keep MIBR with like a really, like I said, teetering econ.
Oh, I dinked
Half armor for a
him.
lot of them. Up we walk. Artazine says, you know what, I'm good actually. I got more friends than you. I'm going to play it safe.
He's in. Leaf.
Look at the space that Leaf has gone. He has walked all the way through site. Here's Vernal drop down.
Vernal falling made him turn and he got 2
Just like he drew
freebies.
it up,
That's
but the Viper's been
insane.
deployed to make the retake
Oh
that much more
my
awkward.
god. I mean, Leaf has
cover
found this
screen,
timing on
gets
A
an
multiple
elbow.
times now. I'm not going to lie.
It's everywhere.
He just
That
walked into the
initiator was
site.
so unaware that they had missed a timing that Leaf caught. And now Trent positioned in main alone, playing passively, biding
Oh
his time.
shit, they're
Doesn't
walking
need to
in.
make any move just
Trent's
yet.
flank is going to be
So clear this
insane,
into the
but
defenders.
he has
You don't have the
rockets.
bandwidth for it. You've got such
You
a
gonna
big
get a kill?
problem
You
to
gotta
try
kill
and solve
first.
here.
Wait,
Here
Leaf
comes
peeked.
Trent into the backside.
Rockets in
Might have
5.
saved them. It's just Trent. The Viper's pit is now down. Viper dealt with.
He's
Trent,
off.
so
Rockets.
cerebral, so consistent. Reliable player here for
Rockets.
G2 is playing it safe, as only he knows
Half.
how. Salvo comes in, Cortezia
Half.
falls, and this complicates it for
Smoked,
us.
bomb
Now
is
it
spot.
does
He's
get
gonna
to
stick it,
half,
he's
but
gonna
it's
stick it,
gonna
he's
take
gonna
more
stick
than that. And Trent's gotta find the timing. The spray is not there.
Yeah, he stuck it.
A parting gift for Cortezia.
Wow.
He leaves a smoke in his wake.
Oh,
And Aspas
shit,
uses it
son.
to convert.
It lasted
Oh,
just long enough for
shit.
him to be able to fully defuse that second half as well. Osmos opens the round with this phenomenal 2K.
Nah, that was nice, man.
That swing from Valen was
Both teams had
just
plays.
torched by an insta one tap.
We know that one could have gone either way.
Stunning from Osmos.
Just
Why?
infinite possibilities
Yeah.
branching out from that moment. And
KO.
Aspas is not grazed by the bullet.
One off Viper.
One round game. Both teams now kind of on the edge. This is G2 with a pseudo force. All things considered, pretty good buy.
That was Judge? Yeah, the Judge.
Iconic. Artsin split the judge.
Oh,
That's
God.
An iconic trio.
Ooh.
Oh my god, Judge
How's
just
he got that?
plucked Verno out of vents. Just open up this side
Overextension,
of the map.
maybe?
Most players would start playing safe. He just goes up a level.
Artson is so dead.
Artsin,
Not even funny.
You're in trouble, buddy. He's trying to figure out where to go with the judge. Look at the angle he's holding.
Very exposed.
He's cooked.
Like a pimple on the tip of your nose. Artazine, oh, impotently tries
That's not
to
a
shoot
good
in the
look.
direction of rafters.
I'm behind. I have to
The mismatch,
refresh.
and he knows it.
Okay, I'll do that for this round.
And now a full strength G2.
Sorry.
Pivotal round in the game.
And it's wraps for this one. MIBR
I'll
are
do it
going to
now.
have to sadly retreat and play this for us.
G2 have dragged themselves through this game and now put themselves on match point. 2
Match
round
point
lead.
G2.
MIBR with a weird force coming, I'm sure of it. Nothing huge outside of the Armageddon potentially to work with in the next round. Shenham here just needs to hope, pray he's allowed to keep the rifle. G2 don't want to take any risks of their own here. Leak didn't think he was anyway, but Artspas will wrest that gun from his grip. Jonah's in position though to recover it at least.
Could have been awkward for Artspas, but he's going to get away with his life. MIBR won't have the worst buy for this final round, and as you mentioned, Verno just one away from getting the Armageddon. Shenham one away from getting the Viper's Pit. If they get access to those ultimates, that can certainly get them this round win, continue the game, despite the fact that they're not going to have the ideal buy.
Pierce is in the chat. No wonder the observing is so good.
Now represents a tipping point in this series. MIBR have not won Ascent this stage. And G2, of course, it took Sentinels to unravel them on that map. To take Split away would put them at a massive advantage. And now map 5 Fracture has been the permaban for MIBR, so God knows what happens there.
Slow from G2 to open this round up. Waiting to see if any aggression is going to come from MIBR.
Okay, why is Tarek AFK on the phone? You spelled my name wrong. It's not with a C, it's with a K, bitch.
Players are just postured towards
How do I get big like you? Go to the gym 6 times a week. You got this.
Anything that might come Artspas' way, but nothing will.
I'm not even that jacked.
Slowly clearing out.
Just a boy, really.
We saw League find success on this.
Bro, MIBR, stop! Them.
What will it take to get the Viper to give it up? We may never know, as G2 have eyes for elsewhere on the map. Look at Artspas, he's pushed very deep through that ace.
Don't call me Fat Rig. You guys want to hurt my feelings?
A fake sell. Okay. The irony of this could be pretty delicious. There it is, Jorgenbo says, do not dare impersonate me. Verno trades it though. The Guardian rings.
Oh my god, that Armageddon is connecting onto everyone. Well, it's forced them into the corners at least.
It didn't do anything. It looked good for a second. For me too. I thought it would be good.
But they're better armed.
MIBR, they don't know where to rotate. They were scared about someone being up through spawn. His sight has been dealt with.
GG's in the chat.
No current mid info to work with. Now they're going to try and test this from heaven. And Artspas has been everywhere this round, but where the action is, star player conspicuously absent.
Fuck, we might get a G2 Sun rematch in the BO5 finals.
Drag them back from the brink.
Fuck. There's no way.
Verno's going to be forced off by the fault line. And Artspas goes looking, dive into the cloudburst, expecting someone in Mal, but Leaf is too canning to give this one up easily. Not for free or not at all, he says.
Girl, relax. It's map 3. All right, my bad. Sorry, bestie.
G2. A pivotal map win in the mid-series.
It's not over yet, Chad. It's a BO5.
They steal away MIBR's pick, and now back-to-back have dealt with some of the top America's teams on